So aim of this is just looking to see how we can improve our brawl. Um, Especially against dive. I mean, again, like I said, after the scrim, we are a brawl team, and we struggle quite a bit against dive. It's we're allowed to force brawl, but we just have to know how to play around their dive a little bit better. Um, so currently with the dive that they're running, they're going to be able to trade backlines pretty consistently in their favor if we're not all stacked and pushing in. Like it's honestly at this point it's almost like we have to go in all together, or how we should be set up depending on where we want to take the fight. We need to be playing a little bit differently. So what I mean by that is if we just want to play objective here and play around all this area, how we need to be split is obviously Fungi is going to play with Tusk a little bit more, but our DPS need to be playing with our BAP if we're taking the fight here, because as soon as they're going to look to trade on our back line, one, we do have ammo that we can survive long enough to try and get trade-offs onto their DPS, pressure their ball out so he needs to roll away, that kind of thing, right? Compared to a Lucio who can only use boop and potentially amp, but since we're a brawl comp, we want to go fast, right? So that's not who should be sitting with Clover comparatively. Clover can sustain the fight long enough to force off the dive. Either you force out the Sombra to go away, again the ball to roll away, or the Tracer just to leave, right? Or Tracer dies, whatever. Lucio being up here won't be able to deter that as much as the rest, because Lucio sure can get a boop off onto their ball, knocks them off, whatever, but then you still have the other two DPS to contend with. Oh, excuse me. Compared to Studio or Wavy being up here, if the ball or even let's say a monkey comes in, we throw nade plus storm arrows into a tank, that tank's gone. Like either he's dead or he's leaving. Same with the DPS. Obviously, Cassidy is a good deterrent to their dive DPS, so playing up here is kind of how we need to be playing if we're going to be playing point for our DPS. If we're not going to be playing point, then we just need to stack up and we need to push. Currently, their most vulnerable, that's the word, character, of course, is going to be their Zen. However, he should be trying to play as far back as he can, getting long range poke. Most of the time, if he's that far back, we'll be able to capitalize on something else that's around us. So I think the best plan of action here is to continue to play this point, right? Because these do have long sight lines, but if we're playing point, that Zen is going to have to come up really close in order to do that. And if he does, that's when we can switch. So again, this is more of a learning experience. I haven't done macro in a while. Either we need to switch play styles, or we need to stick with one, right? If we're going to be playing this point, that's fine. The Zen peeks out, hopefully our DPS maybe push some pressure on him. If they decide to dive in, our DPS can pressure them out, right? So see how we play this instead. This is good. This is still fine. Okay, so this is the split that I'm talking about, that I was talking about earlier. Our Lucio peels for our BAP throws MO, our Hanzo peels for our BAP, but our Kree and our Ryan decide to push forward onto their backline. Again, this is the non-committal thing that I was talking about that we need to do. Either we're continuing to play point, or we're going all in, or we need to switch that play style. If we call to go on that, then we need to make sure our backline is good enough. So like, let me back up just a little bit. So Tusk is still over there. He's not going to see this yet. Not going to see this yet. So honestly, when we're down here, this is probably the optimal time to either turtle up and then push out. So we're good here. Still good here. Okay, we see the Tracer, Kiri, Zen, whatever. This is when we call it, right? This is where we all push forward. Clover doesn't need to go up there. We just say, hey, we're going in on the back line, back right. All of us go. Not one person does not stand behind. That's going to force Clover's attention to split between the main group, the main force that we have, and one straggler behind, right? Okay, we're playing really split. Targets are all over the place. Again, Studio, you're a little bit out in no man's land. You want to be sticking by your Rhine most of this time. See, this is that split that I'm talking about. We're all over the place. Our backline's over here dealing with Sombra. The rest of us are pushing forward.
How's it going?
Okay, they switched to more of a brawl comp. That's where playing this high ground is perfectly fine to do. Alright. So with the Bastion, we need to play hard cover just to wait this out. If we need to give space, we give space, because as soon as he's out of his turret, then we can push. Like, he's free at that point. Good window here. Don't know. We did not need a Deadeye. Good lamp. We push forward to help him. Cancel charge. We look forward. Gets hit by the drive-by. Okay, so now things are. I mean, obviously things are starting to devolve a little bit. As things devolve, we need to have a strategy for where we're backing up to. Specifically on Blizzardware, I think there's two different ones that we should be able to take. It's either this back left corner or Snack Ramas, whatever. It is. It kind of depends on where we're playing. Obviously, we're playing on the left, so we need to be backing up to this left side.
60 seconds remaining.
Oh, this already gets a really good pin. Yeah. Okay, we need to give them space. We need to back. Lamp's a little late, so it's beat. Studio, you did not have to jump off high ground here. Start to back this way. You die. So let's see what we could have done better there. That was too far. So they turret. They get a hack on. Basically, they're just dumping resources into killing our Rhine. As soon as you see that shadow, you throw lamp. Unlucky.
10 seconds.
Against more of this brawl style, I don't think we need to be playing up here. I think 1 or 2 people can be, but Fungi can be playing with our Rhine. Maybe the Kree is playing with our Rhine, and then the Hanzo and the Bapper up top. Like, we just have to deal with the Sombra every time that she comes up here, which shouldn't be too hard for a 2-on-1, right? So obviously just late timings, and kind of positioning. He was a bit on his own. There's just quite a few things that just went wrong there.
I drop.
Okay. Good cleanup.
Apagando las luces.
Okay, our BAP didn't get hit by that, so we still have Great Dragon. Good. Like, honestly, I think this map is the most consistent we played on a brawl this entire series. Maybe it was just because they were dicking around with a Bastion Sombra, but...
It's time.
Good Deadeye. Okay, I don't know. Studio, you don't need to rotate back that way. You need to be... Well, I mean, that's fine if you're going that way. Just go on top. Stop playing down here. Like, you're so isolated. There's that Fungi. No, that's Fungi. Where the fuck is Studio? Where the fuck is... Oh, okay. So you do rotate up that way.
10 seconds remaining.
This is fine, but okay, so one issue that I had here, we're giving them way too much car progress here. Eventually what happens is we back up all the way over here just to drop when, like, that's how far they got car from where they are now. Like, that's way too much progress. We should have just dropped off this first bridge here. Okay, so there's only, like, 2 people that really need to drop here. Clover, you need to change your positioning more to this gate over here. And then 1 or 2 DPS. Basically, Wavy can stay up here. Which we kind of do. Get a good pick. Taking good angles.
Defend objective A.
Okay, I think the initial rotation that we always need to make, especially on Blizzard World, is still to go to that top and wrap around over to this gate and then push up to this high ground. Like this high ground is key to controlling this point, and once we take it and push them off, like we should be able to take angles and win this fight. Instead, I think we just push on to them head on. Maybe just gets a good pick. We're swinging. Good.
Objective lost. Stop the pain.
Okay, with us still being down one, we should not be pushing this hard. One person still on car, that means we have 3 up here. 3v4 at most. Like, we shouldn't be playing this. This is...
System tap.
So even with one down, I'm fine with getting this progress, but it should not be studio and car. Like, or if we're all this far forward, then we have this room to back up to. Being one down in this scenario is detrimental to us. But if we keep getting this cart push, we can always move into this area where we have dragon, and we're about to come up on the beat. Like if we play in here, that it suits more of our style than it could for theirs. I think we'll just get rolled there. Yep. Okay, this was a great play, how we played this. I very much like this. So we're dragoning, forcing the space. We push up here, we window, we melt them from here. Good. Good. DPS still should be taking space here. Look at this beautiful sight line that you have right here. Yeah. Should be Lucio or Ryan on car here.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Yeah, that was game right there, by the way. Again, taking positioning. We only need 2 on car. Fuck that. Forget what I just said. We only needed 2 on car, but we especially needed our DPS up here. If we dead-eye down, like, this was a really bad dead-eye, we don't need to be doing it right here. That's just screaming for them to pin, that's screaming for a sleep, but whatever. Like, that's just much more better for us up here instead than playing down low. And one, we probably don't get caught by EMP by everyone. Not everyone. a lot of us don't get caught by EMP if we play down up there. So DPS always need to prioritize high ground if we can. Obviously, there's certain circumstances, but Clover, don't use regen burst there. If we're all dying, just die. Okay, so Soul Plague for map completion here. What high ground they want to control? again, we're playing for map completion. A normal team, what they want to control is this bridge right here. They're not. I mean, yes, if they can, they want to hold all of this. But once we start to push in and force them back, where they're gonna want to go is up here. Because if they can control up here, they can still control a majority of this space that's all back here, right? Meaning that's like right where card is. So yeah, honestly, we don't even need to fight them up here. Like, we can try and force cart or just not going this way. This is just a lot of spam that we're gonna take along that route. I know we have a better spam here, but like, honestly, right now they want to back up that far. Like, we don't need to take that. We can just drop the car. Like, this is such a weird place that they played. Good block. We are up 1. Oops.
Just in case. Task complete.
Great pick. We don't want to a second time.
Apagando las luces.
Great EMP from them. Did not need the dragon there. And again, that was another win. What are we looking for here?
It's time.
60 seconds.
Yeah, so again, they're playing the right thing here. I think Fungi did make a good call, and how we rotate in order to take this away from them. Yeah, like again, normal game, we would have won that, just by obviously the cart. But if we can either rep under, or we just take the regular shield break, I think, and we can push forward through that way. I don't know. I hate coaching Brawl. Good cleanup here.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
So we have 4 alts coming into this next fight, and with how many swaps they made, we would assume they don't have a lot to play off of here. Oh, too far. Okay, with us having...
60 seconds.
I don't think we ever really need to lead in with Nano when we have dragons. I think we can lead in with dragons. Oh, that's a great pick. Watch that again. So they were just a little bit more proactive here. Great lamp. Bad shatter. Yeah, I think we just needed to be more proactive in that fight and use Dragon instead of Nano there. Whew, Wavy is 1 HP in a dream. Okay, again, we can use Dragon here. Oh, that's not Dragon. Great. Good lord, bitch had some good EMPs. Yeah, it's just some really good EMPs. We'll go over more stuff, but it's late and I need to get to bed. Alright, before I go to bed, fuck it. So, again, we'll go through pathing again real quick and what high ground specifically when we want to look at in terms of what we want to control. Specifically what we want to control. If we keep controlling the key parts of the map, then we should be winning this, right? So this first point, if we're on defense, we want to control up here. Where we should fall back to, I've already told you, the first gate or Snackaramas. And kind of dictate on the fight. If we lose one, we need to back up to one of those spots, depending on where we're playing, right? And depending on who we lose. When we're attacking, again, it's the normal rotation we make through these stairs, up the stairs, dropping down, wrapping around here, going through the gate, taking off this high ground, pushing them off. Once we push them off, we cannot... it's not that we can't, it's like if we catch them off guard, we can just, you know... everyone but like 1 or 2 people can jump off this high ground and push forward. But I feel like that's constantly a trap that I've just seen on this map, is that we just push through. Oh look, they're 5 feet ahead of us instead of the normal 10 that they are, right? So let's just drop after them and push, right? We have control of this space. We can just look to control point. We're basically flipping the terms into a more favorable position for us. We now control the high ground. Once we drop, we can drop, but we need to be holding one of these corners, whichever way we push them to. So if we take up here, then and they do drop, but let's say they drop like right here. All we have to do is play patiently, look to poke them out, try and take a little bit more angles. So as we push up here, let's say bulk of our forces looking this way as their team's kiting that way. Wavy can take a little bit of an angle right here, poking. Yeah, that's pretty much another angle that I'm talking about. Or somebody playing low ground over here, that kind of thing. And as they continue to back further off, then we take the space that we're getting by taking this position. Our Rhine drops down. He plays one of the corners, at whatever corner they're playing at, and we've just now flipped the point, which is more defensive favored. So moving into this next one, obviously what we want to take control of is going to be all of this high ground. This first bend, we want to control the turret. Once we move through the second, it's all about this one. So when we're fighting, we want to use, if we can, if we need to, we'll use ults to fight for this high ground. Otherwise, we just naturally hold here if we need to. Basically, at this corner is usually how it's looking. As for attacking, we want to try to push that, but if what they have is just a better brawl for up there, then we can keep pushing car, right? Yes, they'll have this, and yes, they can poke down at us, but that's if, one, they move fast enough and they even have the mobility to climb up here. Like, they have to wrap all the way around this pillar to come up here, and if they do, there's just multiple different things of how it can happen for attacking, but most of the time when we cap first, we want to try to push it as fast as possible through the gate so that we can take this high ground, or we cap and we automatically take this high ground if we're not losing people, and look to control this. So again, attacking, we could come up here, but again, this is just very dangerous to come up here. Sometimes I don't mind coming this way, just because like everyone's right in front of you compared to that, where there's just more different angles that they can take compared to this way, right? We push out through here, you can see all the angles they're taking unless somebody's flanking behind you, right? Compared to over here, where somebody can be looking here, the Rein can be right underneath this turret. Like where Wavy was playing, he could be playing on top of this pipe. Somebody can play in the stairs, statue, etc. Right? Coming through here, you're just gonna get off angled. So unless we finding opening pick, we're not gonna be able to push through here without taking some kind of losses or having to use ults. So again, if the cart is anywhere from like that gold sewer grate onward, I think we can just rotate up through here and take the approach to over this way. And either they meet us over here or they decide to play wacky shit like where the two robot things are over here. So that's for attacking. Again, defending, first point, we want to control this turret. Once it comes around the bend, we want to control this second right up here, and look to play for that. As we move into third point, third point's a little bit different. I mean, the two places you want to control when you're defending, it's going to be this left or it's going to be this right. We need to try to utilize these when we're back here. So either Baptiste can play up here, Baptiste can play over here, whatever. Kree or Hanzo can be up here, whatever else we're running, while the front line of our force can be playing down below. As for attacking, if the cart's where it is currently, we can either look to come and play this way, or we can look to rotate through this mega, wrap around underneath and play underneath, because what this does is it negates the high ground that it negates this value that's all up here, right, by playing underneath here. And all that matters is now we just have to focus on this high ground, which doesn't have the best view from up here. I mean, obviously if you're the pillar, you have the two walls, but this view compared to this is a little bit more different, right? So I think maybe trying to come through here, and if they're not pushing into us and playing at us, and they just want to hold cart, that's fine. Again, same thing on first point. We just switch the positioning. We rotate up these stairs. We now control up here. Moving into this third. This third, honestly, is a little bit more of a split fight. It's kind of like this throne area where you want to try and control, just because it's the elevation-wise is more of a high ground. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. Those are the key points that I wanted to at least mention for attacking and defending on where we're controlling the maps. Now we just got to kind of put it into action. So now I'm going to be done. I'm going to do some more VOD review tomorrow. If we don't scrim, I'm going to do a shit ton. If we don't, I'm still going to try to do a shit ton. Other than that, good job, guys. That's all I got.